Okay. Hello first. Thank you for having me. My name is Abed, and I'm going to represent to you my BA collection in fashion design and textile. The name of the project is Ashkava in Hebrew and Requiem. And it was my way to deal with suppressed emotions such as emptiness and loss after my father passed. At first, it was a little bit difficult to start the project because it was an intangible subject. So I started my research from home, looking through clothes, objects, photo albums, and eventually his phone. Which there I found the starting point of my project. He worked as a construction. He worked as a construction electrician and used to document a lot of his work process. And he focused on the electricity extension system, which runs along all the entire body of the building. These pictures revealed what hides under the outer walls, and I recognized in them the process that I go through as a person. After finding the pictures, I started to think how the collection needs to look like. In my head, it was sacred and holy, so I started to look for religious rituals and get inspired by clothes and the exterior appearance. Here I started to experiment with my manual knitting machine, and here are some of the results that came from that. And here you can see the shapes and the colors of the four main panels that I chose for my project. And I decided to develop prints from the pictures. Later on, I will print them on lycra fabric and sew them into leotard to uh, to wear under the looks. The green look was the first one to be developed. I created panels, draped them on the mannequin, and sew them together with hands. The canals on the textile that we saw before allowed me to install in these textiles different materials to create volumes and shapes. So I decided to install in them brass wires and use basic metalsmith techniques to create volumes on the upper shape of this look. Here you can see experimentation, fittings, and other. This is the final first look with the print underneath. The second look was the orange look. It was developed in the same technique as before with a little bit of change. Here the panels were the width of them were much shorter, but the length were much longer. So this allowed me to close them as tubes and stiff them with acrylic fiber to give them a fluffy, puffy look in some places. I had the weight of the knit was a little bit challenging too here, so I had to create some kind of construction in the circular area using plastic boning, and here you can see the final look. The red look was developed in a little bit different way. I started experimenting with ready-made clothes until I found the silhouette that I liked. Uh, I knitted uh, I knitted all of the fabric with my manual knitting machine, and I applied on it tailoring techniques to give it a stiff and steady look. I also used a press heat to give the fabric to print on a fabric a different kind of shades to give it much deeper look. Also used a construction on the on the shoulder area using a plastic boning. This is the
It's
final.
5 minutes.
Okay, this is the final look. This is the fourth look. It's a mix between all the looks before. This a very